A huge thanks to everyone involved. You're all listed in the credits at the end of the video. This video is a collaborative effort on behalf of the wonderful people in the 18 plus singles and friends Discord server. And just a quick mention that this video is in no way meant to bully anyone that matters. This video is bullying a bigot. Also, a bit of a content warning. A section of this video has a mention or two of sexual assault, so feel free to not watch if that makes you feel not so epic. Anyway, here's the long-awaited Hall of Shame video.
Question to all the men. Why do you, Jordan, immediately try to seek a girlfriend instead of seeking friends with possibilities?
There are women who join immediately seeking boyfriends as well, are there not? Pretty sure that door swings both ways.
It does, but I'm asking men's perspectives as this is a random questions channel.
I agree with both birth control and Skylogic, by the way. Any relationship worth having is worth putting effort into a friendship beforehand. That way, if it doesn't work out, you've still got a new kick-ass friend to have fun with. Some advice for y'all. Men in general need to stop seeing women as potential girlfriends or wives and start approaching them as people. You can't really connect with someone if you're only approaching from the angle of date me please. You need to get to know them first. Talk to them the same as you would if they were a man, if that helps you find things to talk about. Find out the stuff they're into, ask for recommendations on their favorite books, anime, music, shows, or movies. Let it happen organically. And it's fine to be honest about your intentions from the get-go and say, hey, I think you're cute and pretty and gorgeous and I'd like to get to know you better. Maybe if we vibe, we can eventually date. The vast majority of women I've met appreciate that kind of honesty as long as it's done tactfully.
I agree with all of this, except the part where you say talk to them the same way you would a man. Potential girlfriend or wife thing should not be in the forefront of your thinking, but it also shouldn't be absent either. If no man ever saw a woman as a potential girlfriend or wife, none of us would be here now. Thing is, if you talk to a woman who you also find attractive and would want to see if they would make a good partner down the line, talking to them like you would a man is inadvisable, and for some men, it's impossible. If you want to see if the woman might make a good partner for you, you need to act like a man she might be interested in as well as just an acquaintance. Gotta sell yourself to her as a good man who's strong and attractive in more ways than one. You got to be on your game in that sense. There's a bit of selling yourself when you come to making same-sex friends, but nowhere near the same. That's why I take issue with the talk to her like you would a man idea, because it just rarely ever works if you're trying to keep open the possibility of love.
This is a terrible take. Talk to her like you would a man was more so used as slight hyperbole for talk to her like a person and not a goal. If you treat men and women so drastically different that talk to her like you would talk to a man is an issue, then I have no idea where to go with this.
I was waiting to see where you were going with this before I responded, but yeah, this isn't a good take, my dude. I figured it was obvious that I was speaking in hyperbole, but I suppose that's my own fault for assuming my words would be clear in text form. Nat has the right idea here. You want to talk to a woman like she's a person and not a goal. Women pick up on it when it's obvious that you're only interested in talking to them for the purpose of dating or sex. Sometimes it's flattering, but usually it isn't. Another thing, I've never once had to quote-unquote sell myself or put on airs of any kind to make friends or attract people, regardless of gender. People appreciate when you're honest, forthright, and respectful. With women, just be a good man. Don't feel the need to sell yourself as one. They'll notice, trust me. I'm telling you, as someone who has been listening to what women have to say on the subject for a great many years, that women appreciate being treated like a person and not a goal. Don't believe me? Read what the actual women on here have to say. It's plainly obvious based on the responses of all of the women in this discussion that this isn't an isolated viewpoint. I strongly recommend you take a good long look at your approach to women if you think anything I've said here is inadvisable or impossible.
I never said treat women like goals, nor am I saying selling yourself involves being fake. I'm simply saying befriending women with the possibility of them being more one day is fundamentally different than befriending men and requires a different approach. Just being a good man, yeah, if it was that simple, the phrase you're a good guy, but wouldn't be the meme it is today. Being a good man ain't enough. You also gotta be a protector and a source of strength for a woman. When I say sell yourself, I mean being the best version of yourself. And with all due respect, I've listened to men as well as women when it comes to opposite sex interactions, and they would corroborate everything I'm saying here. Men and women are different in pretty big ways. That's all there is to it. I don't see how the hyperbole was supposed to be obvious.
So let's just go by mine and Vita's example. We spent a long time just being mates. Wouldn't try to go any further, nothing like that. We saw it. She was a mate first and foremost. Didn't change who I am, Miranda. And then feelings just happened. We were, and still are, very open and honest with each other. Talk to her like a person, not a goal. But that's my experience. And it's the way I've always done it in the past.
That possibility was always there somewhere though, right?
What possibility, exactly, fella?
Possibility you might be with her.
I am with her.
Yes, but that was always somewhere in the back of your mind when you and her were just friends, right? It was something you thought about, right?
But before that, it didn't cross my mind. As I said, she was my friend, first and foremost.
Really? Didn't cross your mind once?
I just find it really funny that what you're saying goes against what the actual women in here have said.
Your point being?
My point being, there's no possible way your view holds any water if you're going against all of the women in here is all.
That's an ad populum. Bunch of people disagreeing with me doesn't make me wrong.
Women love being treated exclusively as opportunities for relationships.
We do not.
This does not make my point incorrect. Like, I don't know, man.
That's not even remotely close to what I said.
I mean, I've paraphrased it, but it's the same point, no?
Treat women like XYZ.
Do not treat us like this.
I am still correct. I said you should be decent to women, but treat them differently than how you would treat male friends, because they are hugely different from male friends. One of the big reasons being the possibility of romance one day. Not to treat them as opportunities. Stop being disingenuous.
I don't think he's being disingenuous. I'm pretty sure he knows what you're talking about and strongly dislikes it.
Men and women are different. They think differently. They have different goals and desires.
Nah, they really don't.
Interacting with them with that in mind is not the same as treating them as opportunities.
I mean, treating them like that because there's a possibility for romance is exactly that.
The possibility is in the back of your mind, it's not at the front of it. I've said this for like the 5th time now.
But the fact that it's there and you're treating people differently because of it is the problem.
To clarify, the issue is not that the possibility is there in the back of your mind. I think I made it clear in my original post that being honest about one's intentions is fine. Just like, don't let that inform how you approach women. Treat them like regular human beings with varied desires, wants, and thoughts.
Sure, I never argued otherwise.
I'm glad you didn't, because that means we were all in agreement.
Yes, I believe we are.
And none of us thought that you should treat women differently. That's excellent to hear.
That's just gonna have to be one small thing we disagree on.
I'm not going to agree to disagree, but I will drop it.
I can agree with this and add my own experience. Me and Lady were just good mates for the longest time. I only saw her as a good mate and nothing more. We started talking and got to know each other a bit better, and after talking about common interests, what we're looking for in relationships, likes and dislikes, etc., kind of just realized it, you know. We bonded over our love of mutual things, got closer talking about past experiences, and then I kind of just realized one day, holy shit, she's pretty fucking awesome, and I can see us being together and happy. And she told me she felt the same. The intention wasn't there to begin with. The foundations we had from being friends made building the relationship that much easier. It's quite easy to talk to her, because I just talk to her like a normal fucking human being. We communicate everything we think, feel, like, dislike, worry about, and want to tell the other. Giving each other that space to feel safe and cared for so that the other can be as open as they feel safe to do so. She makes me so incredibly happy and I feel so cared about. She's my best friend and I love her dearly.
Yes, exactly. We were friends for a long time, like since early November. He was always there for me as a friend whenever I needed someone to talk to, or even have a laugh with. But recently, we got to the point where I was like, "Oi, what the flying horse? I like him more than a friend. We actually want the same things in life, and he respects me. Now we're closer than ever. Like, I don't see anyone else I want to be with than him. And if we weren't friends first, we wouldn't be where we're at today. I love him more than anything." Side note, he's a stinky possum.
Look at you two. Ugh.
I mean, the whole being together and happy idea didn't just spring out of thin air, but I'm happy for you both. Once you get to that point with a woman, the obvious next step is to get together. That's one of the big differences between having female friends and male friends.
Counterpoint. I have incredible female friends that are not interested in men in the slightest.
Well, dude, if you're that close with a friend who's a guy, not much else you can do. You can hang out and do more fun stuff, can't marry him. Like, come on, most men and women want significant others. We want a mate. That's part of being a social species.
Second counterpoint. You could abso-fucking-lutely marry a guy friend if you really wanted to.
If you're both homosexual, sure.
Not even. Marriages of convenience exist, whether it's for tax reasons or because you both want the other governmental benefits.
The instinct to hook up when you click really well with a woman is not something that just springs out of nowhere. Attraction like that is natural. In my experience, men and women of the same age who say they're only friends didn't really keep true to that claim. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I've seen no legit proof of it. The temptation of attraction is always present.
Yeah, gonna go back to my first counterpoint.
Yeah, you said they're not interested in men. That's not the type of woman I'm talking about. I'm talking about hetero women. When you say not interested in men, I assume you're talking about gay women.
People can not want relationships. Is that new to you?
They can say that, but the amount of people that hold on to that belief in practice, I would imagine, is quite small.
It really isn't now, is it?
You notice how?
I know a lot of people who don't want relationships and have continued to not be in relationships. Imagine talking to people and understanding how humans think is easy. Cringe.
Lesbians exist, asexual and aromantic men and women exist, and there's a huge number of women who I know on this server who are lovely people, but I've not once thought about dating.
All of which are a pretty small percentage of people out there. Humans are a social species. Finding mates is a pretty natural desire. I don't really believe people when they say they're not interested in relationships of any kind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a toxic opinion and I recommend reassessing that.
How is that toxic?
I don't believe people who say they aren't interested in a relationship of any kind is immensely harmful to people who are traumatized by past experience with abusive relationships and folks who are just aromantic. It costs nothing to be mindful and respectful of people's choices regarding their romantic lives, my guy.
Not really. Only harmful if I use that as an excuse to dog on people who say they don't want relationships. I'm being respectful, not harassing or dogging on anyone, am I?
Saying I don't believe you is dogging on them, Jesus H. Christ.
So, expressing my opinion is dogging on them? I'm not going into people's DMs demanding shit. If people don't want a relationship, I won't bug them.
Your opinion is that you don't believe they're for real. That's 100% disrespectful and dogging on them. And it's my opinion, though, is not a fucking defense.
You can think that if you want.
Opinions are for things like favorite types of pizzas, not whether you think someone's expression of their romantic and sexual identity is valid. I'm absolutely not sorry.
Russian thinking noises. Ooga booga. Give me a big headache, man, to mate with. That logic is dumb as fuck. I have some supernatural urge to stop my birth control and mate now.
You gonna ban me now?
What?
I mean, that's what it looked like was gonna happen.
I wasn't. Are you trying to goad me into it?
No, not at all. I meant saying stuff like, I suggest we assess that opinion. It seems like there's an implied threat of some kind.
Victim complex. Gotta love it.
I mean, just by the atmosphere of the room and based on my experiences in past Discords, it genuinely looked like you were about to gear up to take some kind of disciplinary action, only one of which I'm aware of regarding the server is banning. If that's not the case, then my mistake.
Oh, I'm absolutely gearing up to take disciplinary action, full disclosure. I'm just not someone who jumps the gun. I make sure I've made my stance clear before I take action.
And then you shall always be toxic and probably alone, honestly.
Nah, I've got 3 women messaging me still right now. Toxic, yes. Alone, doubtful. You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna change my opinion for you. Ha 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 ha!
Okay, so once again, oh, it's an opinion, is not a defense of how you should describe actual fucking human beings.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
What I want you to do is assess why you feel people are lying to you when they say they don't want a relationship. Why you feel being a good person isn't enough to attract women. And why you think men and women can't just be friends. Honestly think about it, free of your implicit bias.
Yeah, see, I don't think people are lying when they say that.
But you don't believe them. Make it make sense, please.
They believe it's true, but then they go down the line, they realize they're lonely as hell.
Again, romance ain't the only way to get fulfilling relationships, my dog.
Romance is a very unique type of fulfilling relationship. Getting with a woman, spending your life with her, raising a family, there's nothing else in the world like that.
Have you tried eating a piece of pie?
Nope.
That's pretty good.
I never denied people could be platonic friends. I said I've never seen it legitimately happen. You can look at my older comment where I explicitly state I'm not saying it's impossible.
You've literally been saying that it's natural for people to only want relationships and nothing else. Don't try to back out of what you've been saying, old sport.
I'm late in reading through this, but hello? Literally every friend I have? Invalidated because I'm attracted to both men and women? Get fucked, I'm not having this.
Oh shit, I completely forgot about the bi-pan erasure going on here. Fucking yikes.
Yeah, bi person here. All of my platonic friendships are being ragged on right now by this man's.
Sources, please.
Sources on what?
On that humans need intimate relationships to survive.
That article leads to a bunch of studies on long-term loneliness. Satisfied?
Again, this talks about social isolation. I asked for intimate or mating isolation.
Majority of the time when loneliness is mentioned, it's in the context of not having a romantic partner.
Did you actually glimpse at this? Because it talks about friendships. Please find me a quote talking strictly about romantic relationships because I can only find ones talking about friendships.
You're playing a semantic game here.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's playing semantics? Get the fuck.
A lot of times when loneliness is mentioned, it's assumed the intent of meaning romantic loneliness.
And a lot of times when people say, oh, men and women are different, it's because they're coming from a profoundly sexist place. I'd watch the stones you throw right now because you're in a hell of a glass house.
I'm sorry, Nat. I can't be your friend because of my natural instinct to mate.
What does that mean for me?
It means you can't be my friend either because of my natural instinct to mate.
Nice knowing you, Nat.
Bye, Nat. It was fun playing D&D with you. But apparently the need to mate is too strong.
We'll have to inform the rest of the group too.
Well, this has at least passed the time while my car is getting an oil change.
I thought you had those 3 women you were talking to.
I message them daily, but not every second.
No, like I'm serious. Why talk to us and not them if because they're potential mates?
The Cleverbot servers are down.
Just gonna stay on this topic, huh?
I thought we moved away from the whole finding sources thing.
Well, I couldn't find any sources based solely around loneliness from romantic relationships, so yeah, for now I have.
So, what you're saying is you were wrong?
Nope.
I don't know, man. If I can't find any sources of there being bears on the moon, it absolutely means that there are bears on the moon.
There's our stats on dating apps that show the majority of female users on various dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, etc. are unattracted to the vast majority of male users on there. So yeah, I believe women have higher standards.
Pretty sure a good portion of that is lots of male users have boring profiles, and women are more keen at picking up things that they view as potential red flags. We don't just swipe and match with everyone.
I was just about to come in here and say this.
Seems to confirm my point.
Y'all men just need to get better at being less boring. Our standards aren't even high. Unless having a personality is considered too hard.
I could say the same for women.
Man, I don't know what you're getting at. Dudes have HMU, my Snapchat is for their bio and expect anything. The bar is on the floor for men.
And some dudes still duck under it and have the audacity to say it was too high.
There's countless women with profiles like that too.
And this changes what exactly about my point?
Because you're talking about this as if it doesn't apply to women.
I think perhaps the takeaway is that attaching gender to this discussion is a silly endeavor. Men get picky for whatever reasons we do, and women often have damn good reasons to balk at the first sign of a red flag.
Attaching gender to this discussion is silly behavior.
No. Men are boring. Certain men excluded, obviously.
Like Paul Rudd.
Men are boring implies all men.
But men in general are ick.
Pretty sexist, don't you think?
Not at all.
Bud?
How? If I said women are gold diggers, you'd call that sexist.
Sexism equals institutionalized power plus prejudice.
Oh Christ, that's stupid bullshit. There's plenty of women with institutionalized power, so even like that dumb definition, women can still be sexist at men.
That's stupid bullshit. Okay, but like not one single instance of that will ever be because she was a woman. Like them's just the socio-political facts.
Not one single instance of women having institutionalized power is because they're women.
So we're strawmanning now? Like you just asked for a straw man.
Dude, it was a question. A straw man is a statement.
That is false. But go off.
I do have a random question for you, though. Why are you even here if you insist on giving off "I dislike women" vibes or don't want to be friends?
Because I don't dislike women?
Hashtag LOL. You talk about them like you do.
I could make a better case that you dislike men.
Nikki openly dislikes men. I don't see the issue.
That was what I was saying, though, yes.
I fail to see how that's a bad thing in that case.
I suppose you wouldn't, if it weren't for the fact that basically all of recorded history has afforded that to men over women based on our gender. Like, meritocracy is a great idea, but let's not fucking pretend the world works that way.
All of recorded history? That's an extraordinary claim right there.
Feel free to prove me wrong.
There's been lots of female rulers. Cleopatra, Bloody Mary, Hastaput, prove you wrong already.
That existed in patriarchal societies that inherently benefited men.
That wasn't the claim, bud.
It was?
All of recorded history. That was his claim.
Imagine being this pedantic. Like a woman ruler doesn't make society magically not sexist anymore.
Whoa, fuck off. That's not pedantry. That was your claim. Don't change the goalpost. If I said I dislike women, would you instantly think I meant all women?
Yes,
Why?
because you're speaking from a place of power, and not one that is frustrated with a society that inherently disparages them.
Place of power? What fucking place of power? I've never been handed anything in my entire goddamn life.
And your life wasn't harder because you were a man, my dude.
Bullshit.
Like, this is remedial sociopolitics.
You don't need to be in a position of power to have privilege. I'm curious to see what facets of this man's life were made harder because he was a man. And if it's a common factor in many.
Yes, please, do tell.
I've been sexually assaulted and not taken seriously. There's one. I spoke with another guy in here who had the same experience.
Same with women though. That's not a gendered thing.
Women are taken far more seriously than men. Me Too comes to mind. Believe women.
Me Too fucking exists because women haven't been taken seriously. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's not women's fault, my dude. We live in a patriarchal society that disbelieves anyone who's been sexually assaulted, especially men who are supposed to be strong enough to resist.
When did I say it was women's fault? Jesus H. Christ, Dad, you are insanely poo-poo brained.
Don't use that word. Disgusting.
Hello. The fact that you think women get more respect than men is deplorable. Calling someone else the R slur is also not okay. I really ask you to open your eyes to other people's experiences rather than just focusing on your own. Have a good day.